All right, today we are going to do some much needed maintenance on this Z250 that's been sitting for a while. I can't even get it to start up. I'm sure the fuel is all gummed up. So we're going to go ahead and get this carburetor removed and cleaned. I bought a rebuild kit for it. So we'll go ahead and use this high caliber rebuild kit. And I get a new battery as well. So let's get this thing running. I'm tired of it sitting here, not getting used. So first things first, we'll go ahead and get this carb off of here and kind of go from there. So I'm gonna drain the fuel out of the bowl. I'm gonna pull this hose out of here, make it a little bit easier to drain straight down and through. So these bikes are vacuum pulled carbs, so there is no need to pinch off the fuel line or anything, but we are definitely going to drain the bowl. I mean, it doesn't smell horrible, but I'm pretty sure the jets are all plugged up because it's been sitting with a full, I'm going to say a full tank of gas, but pretty close to a full tank of gas. So I'm gonna get this loose, then I gotta go around the other side and remove the throttle cable. And I'm just gonna take this whole thing off and clean it. So let's go to the other side and we will get this throttle cable off. So I'll go ahead and get these off. If I can. Sometimes these strip out real easy. And the bottom one, you're gonna have to turn the carb to get to it because the exhaust is in the way. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then you gotta kind of tilt this up just a little bit, just so you can get to that bottom bolt there. A lot of times this gasket in here, I've already been in here, so I'm sure it's all, I always put a dab of silicone on there just to help it stay in place. So I'm sure it's all got silicone in it because I can see the gasket starting to pop out there. Let's see if we can get this pried loose. Maybe, maybe not. The gasket is kind of falling out there. I'll just go ahead and leave it in there because it is all sealed up in there. All right, so then we need to remove this throttle linkage here. So I'll go ahead and I usually just push this up. See if I can get my hand in there. And then just grab this cable and just slide it down. Sometimes it's easier if we just stick a screwdriver in there, small one to hold it, and then just pop this down. Sometimes this sticks in there, but it's just a little brass fitting. Pop it out of there. It's going to come out the bottom, so cable definitely needs to be down there. Let's move you guys out of the way again. Sometimes they can be a little tricky. Once you get it loose, the cable on the other side, it'll just pop out. And then just grab your cable if you can, and just slide this little brass plug up there. It only goes in one way. There's a hole on one end, and then the other end is closed. So a little tab on the cable will go in there. Alright, so now I need to take off the throttle cable itself, and it's usually an 8. Should be pretty loose because I don't tighten this down much. Yeah, so I just get it off there by hand. And then we'll just pull the cable through. If you guys ever get an aftermarket carb, these pieces here that it threads into, on every aftermarket carb, they're always too long. And I found a place that sells them. I can buy just those. I bought like 10 of them just in case, so I have them for the future use, so I didn't have to order them right away or in the heat of the moment. So cable's out. We'll just let that sit there, and then we will go back around to the other side. And we will get this carb situated. Let's see. If we want to pull his off, let me get the straight ones. So this will leak a little bit of fuel too, so I just kind of get the pan ready, and then just go ahead and probably have to twist because it's probably on there pretty good, but I'll just let that drain out a little bit. If I put it on prime, PRI, that'll drain the whole tank. So make sure you guys are on reserve or on, and then you won't have any issues. And then I'll just tuck this up there. I'm sure I'm gonna get some fuel in that wound there, and I'm sure that's not gonna feel good. All right, what else we got? Got a couple of other hoses on here and the choke cable. So this hose, It's a vacuum hose. Thing's pretty brittle. Probably have to get a new one of those. And then we got the choke cable up here. Say 12 maybe? No, that's a 14. Kind of a pain to get to, but alright. So that is loose. And we'll just go ahead and pull that out. You want to put the choke on, it makes it a little easier to put it back in there because it will be shorter. And we'll just tuck this up out of the way. And I think that is it. I will take this hose off here just because we're not going to need it. We'll take it out. That way we can just leave it sit there. And then we just got to wiggle this thing out of there. Not always the easiest. I think it's more of a pain getting it back in than anything. Alright, will it come? That's loose. We'll go ahead and loosen that back clamp up just a little bit more. Alright, we should be good. Sometimes it's easier just to get the back out and then come out frontwards there. Alright, and you can see my glove is trashed that quickly. Alright, so I'm going to get the pan and then we'll get this on the counter over here. All right, that is off. Let's go to the bench. Go ahead, tilt you guys down. Let me get some more gloves on. Now, I'm not going to mess with the air fuel screw because I put those in there on all my bikes. I don't think we should have a problem there. We'll pull the jets off, jets out, and see what's going on there. So I will get my screwdriver again. Let's see how bad this thing is. I don't know if I have Allens anymore for these things. I bought a bunch of Allens for the carbs, but I don't know what I did with them. I'll have to dig through my parts and see if I can find them. And the only good thing about the carb and the screws are it's been taken apart so much that it really doesn't give me any problems. So set these off to the side. All right, I can pop the bowl off and inspect these plugs. I mean, it's not dirty. I mean, there's like a little piece of dirt down there. There's just like this little piece of dirt in there, but let's see how these jets are. I just have a feeling that's gonna be the culprit, because this thing just does not want to stay running or start for that matter. It just sputters and spits and all that jazz. So check out this one here. I have these little tools. They come in different sizes. You can get small ones, big ones. These are all for cleaning carbs. You can get them on Amazon. So we're just gonna run the poker through the jet just to make sure everything is good to go. If I don't need the kit, then I'll just keep it around. That one looks all right. Run this down here too, if we can get it in there. Maybe. Something else if you don't got them all out. All right, go ahead and put that one back in. I'm just gonna try not to use the jet kit because I know this has a pretty new kit in it. I just kind of got it just in case. I can't get one to free up, but if they're still good, then I'll continue to use them. This one is definitely plugged for sure. I can see the stuff just sitting on top of there. See if we can get this one cleaned out. I think these are the worst ones because this hole is so small and a lot of times you can't get anything in it. Let's see if I got a smaller one. I'm definitely not gonna get into that one, so we're gonna go ahead and change it. So this jet is definitely plugged. Let's just make sure this is the same. So it's a 20, yeah. So We'll go ahead and put that one back in. Check this main one. It's clear. I'm going to clean it through it just to make sure. It's fine, it's fine. So it was just that one jet. Let's see, everything else working all right. Plunger working good. Let's check that plunger out. I don't like the way it feels. Screen looks good on there. I don't see any blockage. Go ahead and get some carbon choke cleaner. Just kind of spray it out a little bit. Alright, so we can go ahead and put this back in there. Put the screw back in. So if you guys are ever changing jets, this jet, this jet, and this jet usually all come in the kit. Just make sure the numbers are the same. And like I said, I always use these Nishi, whatever the name of it is. These air fuel screws. That way I can adjust as I go, rather than trying to figure out how to get a screwdriver up in there. I do have this tool, which does come in handy on occasion. Let me find it there. It works better on some bikes than other bikes. So this is a Motion Pro screw adjusting tool. So this is for carbs. It's pretty long. It's got like a screwdriver handle on here, and when you turn this, it turns this little screw tip here. So you can pull it up and down depending on the height, and then you just turn it, and that's what adjusts your air fuel screw. I've used this, it's easier on the 250s than it is on the 400s because there's a little more room on the 250s, but ever since I found these manual adjustment ones, I just go ahead and use those because it's a lot easier. So I think we'll be good. Let me check out this plunger. Yeah, I mean, it's still soft. Still got pliability to it. So we'll go ahead and slide that back in there. Drop this back down in there. And let's check this gasket. It's still soft. Yeah, it feels pretty soft still, so I'll just go ahead and use that. Don't forget to put the little piece on there. I don't honestly know if you need those, but I just threw them back on there because it was on there. Why not just leave it on there? I think it just helps with sloshing when you're riding. So let's get this all buttoned back up, and hopefully this thing will start right up. I will say it's definitely nice working with this lift. I'm saving my back day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. So everything else looks all right. So we should be good to go. So let's get this thing back in and kind of go from there. Right, so this is the fun part. It's always a pain in the ass getting these things back in. So let's just get to it. Best we can. Like I said, it's always easier to come in and get the back boot in or the front boot. I don't remember. Sometimes you just gotta manipulate both, I guess. So I always find it easier to get the front boot in because it's more rigid and there's not much flexibility on that end. So if you get that end in, then you can manipulate the other end in. This clamp is still too tight. Go ahead and loosen that back up. Jesus. Alright, so there's a notch in there for the carb to notch into. And it's about there. I'll have to double check on the other side. And then the fun part is trying to get this back boot on. A lot of times it helps if you can remove the air box, whatever, and then just put it back on there, but I don't want to go through all that, at least not today. So we will just kind of work this thing around. Sometimes a 90-degree pick works good too. Check the other side. So it is on. I just need to secure it better. So we'll do the back there and tighten that down. Then we can slide it forward. Like I said, if you can get that air box loose, it works so much better because then you can just tighten it down, pull it backward, and get everything secured. And then you see how you got a gap up there. As you're trying to manipulate one end, it just pulls away on the other end. So we will get it with some gentle persuasion. Not really gentle, but alright, I need to go check the other side. Alright, I'm just gonna snug it down a little bit. That way it's not too tight, because I still need to turn it to get that throttle cable back in there. So we'll just make it a little bit snug so it doesn't fall back out. But I'm able to still turn it. And we'll go through that throttle cable back in. Alright, so now we are back on this side. I got that all buttoned up over there. You can see there's a gap in there. So I just try to get them both secured on there. A lot of times it's not possible to get them both even because you got to move that air box, like I said. I think in the past I've loosened that air box up just to slide it on more, and it's been the way to go. You definitely don't want any air leaks, so alright, we'll go ahead and tighten this one down. You can see the gap in the back now. It has progressively gotten bigger. the way. Let's see what we can get with this back piece here. I think we'll be all right. As long as we can squeeze it on there better. Yeah. All right, that should hold. We'll go ahead and get this choke cable back in here. And I'm hoping she just fires right up. I think she will. If she doesn't, I'm pulling this thing back off. Vacuum line. Overflow line. And then we'll go ahead and drain it back under there. This is just going to go back where it was. All right, I get the fuel line back on. You guys won't believe how much this fuel line OEM is. It's ridiculous. I want to say it's like 30 bucks. And then I have one line on the other side, the vacuum line. And we should be good. All right, let's see if this thing fires up. I think I can do it from down here. All right, make sure it's in neutral. Yep. And I'm gonna turn on prime just to get some fuel in the bowl. Choke it, and throttle. Doesn't want to